Hello, my dearies. This is Nikita. Welcome to today's session Understanding Your Mind. Understanding and mind. Let us first understand these two words separately. So, what is understanding? Understanding means you separate facts from the information. You see the facts, the evidence from the information that you probably discover or you are aware of. So understanding means focusing on the easiness, focusing on the things for what it is. That is called easiness, seeing the things for what it is. So there is no element of perception as such, and you just see the things for what it is and focus on the facts, the truths. That is called cultivating right understanding, meaning you see the truth by investigating, by questioning, and by focusing on the easiness for what it is. That is called right understanding. And we just don't need understanding, we need the right understanding, because see, this thing will vary from individual to individual, but right understanding involves that you focus on what is the easiness for what it is, and that will change your entire experience. And most importantly, the right understanding will serve your mind, because mind is a very powerful tool, and we can just double its power by our right understanding. Now let's see what is mind. Mind is an experience. Okay, mind is different from brain. I think most of you are aware about it, so I will not talk much on that. So mind is an experience, and it is through mind that you are experiencing your experiences. Of course, your bodily sensations and everything is involved, but the meaning that you are giving to those sensations, the meaning that you give to the situations or circumstances or about the person you meet or interact with, that is all coming from your mind. And it is very important to plant the right seeds in the garden of your mind, and that right seeds also involves the element of understanding. Let's first see mind now. So mind is an experience, mind is a powerful tool, and like I have to say, like I have already discussed, that mind is the most powerful tool, and is the free this free will is given by God to us. We are the only living creatures who have this free will, who can create whatever we want to create in our consciousness. Therefore it becomes very important to cultivate the right consciousness, the right understanding, the right awareness. Now see, your mind is like a preschool kid. Your mind is like a puppy. Okay, let's see this. Your mind is like a puppy, meaning you have to train your mind just like a pet parent has to train its puppy. So like in the beginning, I had to teach my dog all these commands: sit, stand, up, down, stop, all of those things. Then and I have to train my dog in a way and reward him throughout the process. Then only my dog has learned all of this. But without training, without the right guidance, you know what animal will do, what a pet will do. Just like that, your mind needs to be trained. Just like I have to teach my dog to sit and stand up and down, and I have to just stop him when he misbehaves or something like that. Just like that, we have to train our mind. Our mind is also like a preschool kid, you know, like a kid to whom we have to give instructions, but a very clear, specific instructions. Then only the child will act upon it and will perform a desirable behavior, and then we reward it so that it happens again and again. The same thing is with the mind. The moment you even become aware that, oh, this time I thought differently, the moment you consider, okay, this time I have responded differently. Your mind will pick up that, but you have to reward it so that it keeps on happening again and again. This is what is called reward or reinforcement in terms of my subject psychology. So reinforcement is something that because we want desirable behavior to occur again and again in the future, we have to reward that behavior. You know, it happens like suppose something good happens with you. Definitely you feel happy and joyous about it, but you are likely to forget it very quickly. You know, we are just not into that celebration mode as such. But something negative happens, or someone commented negatively or criticized or ridiculed. I mean, we are likely to remember that for years and years, or maybe for lifetimes, you know. Therefore human incarnations keeps on going. So that is again one of the nature of the mind, because our mind doesn't have the ability to see what is good or what is bad. Mind has no ability to analyze or reason out. That is something that we have to cultivate using the right understanding. The first thing which I explained, that's the importance of right understanding. That's the importance of focusing on the easiness. That's the importance of looking at the things for what it is, not the way I expect it to be, not the way I want it to be, but first being aware of what it is. That will help me to get the right perspective of about the situation or whatsoever. So mind is like a puppy. We have to train our minds. Mind is like a preschool kid. We have to give specific, clear instructions to our mind, and it is very obedient, cooperative, and disciplined. It's about us, like how we gonna train our mind, and what kind of understanding, what kind of consciousness we are going to feed our minds with. Another thing about mind is that it has no what do I say, no skill of subtracting anything. Your mind can only add or multiply. Okay, there is no such thing as subtraction. So just see, when you are down, when you're feeling low, you're down with something, you may think just a slight negative thought. You may not be aware what impact it will have on you in the next 10 minutes, but you might feel upset about something. You just have one or two thoughts, okay, sad thoughts or negative thoughts, and see within 5 to 10 minutes, see how it gets multiplied. You know, so like you are sitting, like I'm sitting here and I think about something, my mind has all the talent and capacity to make me depressed, or even I may start even crying. So to make me depressed about something which had happened years ago, only because I remembered that, only because I activated that thing, and now I'm thinking about it. Now see, when such moments happen, when such experiences happen, it's up to us what understanding we are going to cultivate it this time. You know, I have shared a few things about me as well. So it happens that I also feel sad and some memory gets triggered. Recently I said about my grandmother's death, and I actually started crying in the session. But I allowed myself to be vulnerable, and allowed all the emotions and thoughts that were coming up as a result of that memory or whatever I was feeling that time. But then I responded differently to my thoughts, to the mind, and I came up with another response, and that's what I have been doing, because I have to use my right understanding, and I'm implanting different responses, different thoughts now in my consciousness. Then only my mind will be able to work, because your mind picks up whatever you feed it to. And remember that your mind has no capacity to subtract. It will add or multiply. So it is good also and it is bad also. Now it's up to you. What do you choose to plant in the garden of your mind? Okay, and today's session will help you to understand what is understanding, and what is mind, what is the nature of mind like. Then you will be able to use it for your advantage as well as for the advantage of others. Next thing is that your mind is aimless. Our minds are aimless in nature, so you got to train it. And we have like 60 to 70,000 thoughts in a day. Surely you are aware about it. But do you know that there is no creativity as such in those pattern of thoughts? Our thoughts are mostly the repetition of the same thoughts. They are just that is what we experience is just the recycling of thoughts. Unless you meditate and deliberately choose to implant new thoughts that are in alignment with your desires, with your goals, that are truest to your real nature, then it's a different thing. But otherwise we have the same thoughts, the same recycling of those thoughts. So mind is aimless in nature, therefore we have to train our mind consciously, and this is something that we can do throughout the day. And also when we do some reflective exercise, when we spend at least 10 minutes with ourselves and with this creative thing that is given to us by God, then we can definitely improve it. So suppose throughout the day you are busy doing your work and everything, and your mind is doing its work and all, and suppose in one of the interactions something gets triggered in you, and you have a pattern of thoughts, and therefore you feel so that's about your emotions, and then you behave, so that's about your behavior or actions. Okay, but and that's what it's been like. So if someone just presses your button, you are likely to behave in a similar way. Maybe you have been behaving like this like all of your life, this life, or it has been like since many lifetimes. Like maybe you had this kind of consciousness even in your past lives, and that is something which is there still in you, because you know that your body dies, your soul is eternal. This is a spiritual thing, but just highlighting the element of it. And that our subconscious mind is the same mind, that it's the same thing that we have been living in all our past lives as well. Okay, this is science now, I'm just giving you the just some element. So the point is that we are likely to behave and think and feel in the same way unless we have done some conscious deep work. So let's take, as you are moving throughout your day and something happens that presses your button, meaning you get triggered and you feel maybe disappointed, angry, exhausted, whatever emotion, and then you have some thoughts and some actions accompanied with some actions. In that moment, just become aware. In that moment you can just say, this time I want to think differently, this time I want to feel differently, this time I want to act differently, and take deep breaths. Maybe that in that moment, in the battle of it, it's difficult to just do this reflection work, especially if you are just the beginner. Okay, so in that moment you can just say, but I want to think differently this time, but I want to feel differently this time, but I want to act differently this time. Just say this much to yourself, and later on you can do the journaling work and find out that the person is different, the situation is different, but my patterns of thoughts are almost the same. The vocabulary could be different, the narration or thing would be different, but the theme of the story would be same. The pattern of thoughts will be same. Whatever experiencing, if the experience is unpleasantness, that is same. So that means that you have to give instructions to your mind. You have to become conscious, because your mind is bringing into your awareness something that you need to work on. So throughout the day, the moment you feel even a slight slight upsetness or something, just in that moment, just take a deep breath and tell yourself, this time I want to think differently. This time I want to feel differently. This time I want to act differently. And later on, you can just journal it out. Don't just keep everything here. Just write it down. Think on the paper, meditate on the paper, take out 10 to 15 minutes, okay? Just gossip less. I would say no gossip, but just gossip less. Stop judging other people, stop judging what he or she said and criticizing and all of that. And yeah, for some people it's really difficult to spend some time, with all my respect, I can completely understand. But if something is in you, just please be very, very gentle with yourself and meditate on paper. Just write it on paper, just think it on paper, and you will see that this and you will just find that you almost have same pattern of thoughts. The theme is almost same, and that will be very extraordinary thing for you, because then you will discover, and your mind will also get evidence that, oh, I'm just so boring, I just almost think about I'm just so boring that I just think the same thing, and that's very exhausting. Let's think something different now. So that's what you will experience. So try this thing, and that will also help you to train your mind consciously. So like throughout the day, you can just give very specific instructions. This time I want to think differently, and later on you can work on it. Okay. Next thing is, so how we can use this right understanding and the thoughts. So you have the right thoughts for yourself. Suppose you have listed down 10 thoughts that you use as your mantra or affirmation daily, and those thoughts and affirmations are truest to your higher self. And you have your these thoughts and desires. Now you have to add it with your right understanding, that this is what it is, and take it into action and see then what happens. This requires you to do the work, and the work which you have to do is what you have to do. The work which I have to do on myself is something I have to do. So I can guide you, and I know this session will help you, but then doing the work is something that you have to do. Okay, and one more important thing I want to share in the session, understanding mind, and I'm sure this is going to help you in a really great sense. See, all of us have perceptions about each other, huh? All of us have a mental image about each other, like I don't know who is watching this video, but if you have been watching my videos, then firstly thank you so much, and secondly, so by now you have some mental image about me, a mental image about Nikita, and perceptions about Nikita. What I want you to understand and add into your right understanding, and just write it down, that we are dealing with our own minds only, full stop, period. We are dealing with our own minds only. We think that it's about the other person, or it's because of the influence of someone. Well, there are a lot of other factors, but you see, I'm just focusing on what we can do differently, so that our being is in a pleasant state, and we stay in our power. Because the moment we blame someone else for our condition, for our experience, the moment we just project onto something else or someone else, we are losing our power. Then you are just declaring yourself as a victim. So forget about the other things and just focus on yourself. Note this down, that we are dealing with our own minds only, and we react or respond, it's like a picker. We react and respond to the mental image we have about other people. So you have a mental image about Nikita. whenever you watch my videos, whatever you come up with, you are basically reacting or responding to the mental image you have about me. So that is not real me. Now let's take someone close. Suppose we have perceptions and mental image about our parents, let's say. So whenever something happens, let's say your parent did something, and immediately you have lots of thoughts about them, about your mother or father, and then then you think that you are reacting to them, but basically you are reacting to the mental image you have about your father, the mental image you have about your mother, the mental image you have about your boss or colleagues, the mental image you have about your spouse or children and other family members, the mental image you have about your friends or everyone. So we are basically dealing with our own minds, and we are just reacting to the mental image we have formed in our mind about other people. Now, in order to use this tool for our own good, for our own greatness, we have to make sure that our perceptions are realistically based, and that we have the right understanding, the right perceptions about people. Forget the perception. I want you to stress on is the right mental image. Now, right doesn't mean that right and wrong, not that dichotomous category I'm talking about, but something which is real and true, because no one in this world is really bad. Intrinsically, all of us are good. Intrinsically, all of us are same, and all we want is love, to love and to be loved and belong. And all of as humans we have these needs, and that's a very basic, very fundamental to the human nature. And we got to remember that we are all created in the image of God, and we all are created by the same God. Okay, and it has nothing to do with God or any other person or situation. We are reincarnated for some reason to basically to create new karma meaning action, to create new actions. So as a psychotherapist, I would say that each time when you choose to think differently, each time when you choose to feel differently, each time when you choose to behave differently, you are creating new neural pathways in your brain, and that's going to serve you in this life and in the coming lives as well. Okay, so it's about, see, this is what intelligence is. Intelligence has very less to do with your IQ and how smart or knowledgeable you are. You know, there is difference between knowledge and impressive vocabulary. That's a difference between. There is a difference in intelligence and impressed vocabulary, or this knowledge thing. Intelligence. See, of course, we need to have some kind of intelligence to the intelligence that we need to survive in this world. I would say, because I know as a psychologist that people who suffer with some intellectual disability, I know what it is like. So I'm not talking in that sense, but intelligence means like it should serve you, and it should serve others as well, because we are born here for a great purpose, and we are not born for ourselves. We are born so that we can contribute something really great in the lives of other people, so that we can create a really good impact in the world. And let me tell you this thing, when you just think even one good thought about yourself, one good thought about other people, when you just send a short personal blessing to anyone who has hurt you, you know, you have no idea what good you will be, what good you will be contributing in the universe, you know, because everything is picked up in ethers, everything is picked up, all of us are just vibrations. And what Yeah, that's the thing, it's again something at a metaphysical level, but so even when you think just one good thought, and when you forgive someone, when you send even a one short personal blessing, you have no idea what good you are doing, what good you are contributing in the world, in the universe, through your thoughts, through your vibrations. So I want you to focus on your understanding, your mind, and the mental image you have about everyone and everything. And because we are dealing with our own minds only, cultivate what good mental image you can create about yourself, about people, and about the world. Thank you so much. And yeah, one more thing. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I want to tell you that I have started my. I am on Instagram now, and the account name is Nikita Rasania. So every week I share short videos like 3 to 4 minutes video, wherein I discussed about the reading, and then we together set the intentions for the week. So please follow me on Instagram, Nikita Rasania, and like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I hope that this session has really helped you. Definitely it must have helped you. So the work which you have to do is what you have to do. So cultivate right understanding and a mind that serves you and everyone in your world. Focus on creating a really good, realistic mental image about everyone, and see then what good happens in your life. Thank you so much.